few moments ago, the trophy that all the fuss has been about for the past 8 months was plonked right in the middle of the dressing room area, and out they come. It's all down now to 18 minutes inside Old Trafford. For only the second time in 10 years, we have the same two teams in the grand final that we had 12 months ago. St Helens and Leeds, the two most consistent teams of the year. St Helens arriving on the back of a 23-game unbeaten run. Leeds have lost only once in the last 6. Perhaps significantly, that was against St Helens in the qualifier just 2 weeks ago. But if there is one team in this country that can match Saints blow for blow, it's Jamie Jones-Buchanan and the Leeds Rhinos. But the big question mark hanging over this grand final is what effect will the absence of Brent Webb and the subsequent changes have on the champions coming into this match. 12 months ago, it was 33-6 to Leeds. It was a result that came completely out of the blue. Ashley Klein is the referee. Daniel Anderson, it's his 122nd game in charge of St Helens and his last. He's won an incredible 80%. Can he maintain that record here? Will St Helens or Leeds take home the bacon tonight? Wellens gets us underway. 2008 grand final is in full swing.
And this is where both sides, they really want to show their muscle early. It's so vital in the opening couple of minutes that you get through at least some good defence, or in Leeds' case, get through the first set of 6. It's impossible to try to just keep yourself calm and collected, but they are so professional these days. But in these wet conditions, anything can happen, and Leeds look as though they're going to be adventurous.
Brian McLennan, the New Zealand coach, bidding to come the first Kiwi ever to win the grand final. Frank Endicott got Wigan to this place not too long ago, but he failed to win the big prize. Can Brian McLennan's Leeds Rhinos do it for him here? That was a great kick, a great chase. Here now is Francis Melly for St Helens.
Throughout this season, Saints have been very, very good in the fact that when they come back from the kick and chase game, they invariably get over the halfway line. It's going to be interesting to see whether the Rhinos can peg them down.
This is Chris Flannery now for St Helens. That's the fourth tackle. St Helens significantly for Leeds, still inside their own half of the field. James Graham is the reigning man of steel in 2008. They're on halfway after 5. Long spins it wide to Price, and Price will hoist the kick. And underneath it is Lee Smith. Lee Smith with a glorious opportunity tonight, not only to win this grand final, but perhaps play himself into an England jersey for the World Cup in Australia. England coach Tony Smith will need cover for Paul Wellens. This is Jamie Peacock now. Leeds, of course, overshadowed by St Helens at the Man of Steel Awards ceremony on Tuesday night. Probably arriving here believing they have a point to prove, believing that they're not as bad as people say. They are underdogs in the bookies area, that's for sure.
That's a good kick as well. Any time that the ball can hit terra firma, you can see that they're struggling to get onto that 20-metre line. That's a good kick and chase there by the Rhinos, and they mean business. Paul Wellens is screaming at the official, Ashley Klein, saying that it was help.
Well, that is one of the advantages that Leeds have. 3 players who are very comfortable when kicking the ball to gain ground at the end of a set of possession. We saw Sinfield make the first one. That one came from Maguire, but Burrow with his left foot is equally capable of buying them some land.
Run from Graham is halted by Ablett. Also there was Danny Maguire. That's 4 tackles gone for St Helens.
Oh, that looked high. Maguire's got away with that one. Touch judge not intervening.
Talau will play the ball. Here now is Sean Long. His kick is charged down by Gareth Ellis.
Back to 6.
So, 6 to go for St Helens. Leon Price making sure that Paul Wellens knew that fact.
That, Eddie, perhaps is the difference between a player, kicking from on the 5th tackle and the 4th tackle. You kick on the 5th tackle, there's a lot more pressure on you. Leeds both times so far in their first 2 sets of 6 have kicked on tackle number 4. St Helens have actually been prepared to take on tackle number 5. Something I mentioned in the pre-match, I thought Leeds would kick earlier in the tackle count. So far, it's been very successful.
Here is Cunningham, though, on one of those typical runs of his, but he's halted by Kylie Luluai and Rob Burrow.
One of the big favourites, Eddie, is Kieran Cunningham to be man of the match. But that's great defence by Leeds. They really are getting into the faces of the Saints outfit.
It's been a great start from the champions as Long spins it wide again to Price, and he gets it away to Wilkin. There's the kick from Wilkin that will turn Lee Smith around, and this will not skip dead. Smith has got to run it back from his own goal line, and he gets as far as Willie Talau, and he'll play the ball. And a bit of confusion at the dummy half there, but eventually Danny Maguire taking charge of that situation.
Tremendous tactics there by St Helens. Daniel Anderson knows they're going to Leeds are going to apply a lot of pressure to short, long Leon Price. And you could see that the second rower, John Wilkin, had gone right out wide, outside the centre. And when they did the link on the last for the kick, it was a good one.
Leeds in possession. Peacock finds Maguire, who gives it to Gareth Ellis. It's his final match in the blue and amber of the Leeds Rhinos as well. He'll be playing for Tim Sheens and the West Tigers in the NRL in 2009. Gardner is Super League's top try scorer this year. He gets the ball away and he finds his fullback Paul Wellens.
Good work from Maguire. Wellens just received it. He'll be coming in on the angle on the defensive pattern.
Still 10 metres inside their own half, St Helens with Long. Here now is Flannery, collared by Senior, brought to ground on tackle number 3. Gidley is the dummy half for St Helens. He gets Saints to the halfway line. Cunningham waits, finds Sean Long. Long back on the inside to Gilmore. Gilmore has got support with Wellens. Wellens gives it back to Gilmore. Back it goes to Graham, and James Graham scores the first try of the 2008 Grand Final. St Helens stamp written right across it. The man of steel on Tuesday crowns his week and gets St Helens off to the best possible start. His 3rd consecutive Grand Final, but this is his first starting appearance at Old Trafford and the 4th St Helens man of steel in 4 years. He has given St Helens a dream start.
Fantastic play by the Saints side. They caught Leeds napping in and around the play the ball area, back on the inside from Long. And you could see there that Gilmore, he had the numbers. Smith did well. He kept it as long as he could, but the support play was quite outstanding. Wellens on there, look at you see, that was very poor. The second marker had gone back out. That was Kylie Luluai. And you cannot afford to do that as this man, the man of steel, raises the arms.
And Long has the extras. And St Helens are ahead by 6 points to 0.
And you know, most teams in the Game of League get about 10 chances to score a try. The winners are the ones who convert those chances into points. And here is what St Helens do at their best. Look at the support on left and right. Leeds do well to recover, but whether there's a doubt over the forward pass there to Gilmore, there's no doubt that Graham scores.
So the champions restart, trailing by 6 points to 0, and it's Wellens who is underneath it, and he tips it inside to Bryn Hargreaves. Great chase, though, from Leeds at the kickoff. He only made 4 or 5 metres forward. Here is Graham. He'll be full of it now.
That was absolutely wonderful support from a prop forward. You'd expect a three-quarter to be sniffing around when the inside ball went to Wellens with Gilmore in possession. And then you think to yourself, hang on, how does the prop forward pop up and score? Sensational year, this fella.
And he's in possession again, James Graham, but that's great defence from Leeds in the set immediately after the try, and there is a mistake from Long. Under pressure, just had a little look at the onrushing Leeds forwards.
Got to make sure you take it first. Had plenty of time, no one was really upon him.
Great chase from Leeds, great set of six that from them defensively. This now is Jamie Jones-Buchanan. Leeds beaten 38-10 at Knowsley Road 2 weeks ago. Taken to the wire 8 days ago by the Wigan Warriors. Tonight aiming to rewrite the history books. They have never won back-to-back titles, this Leeds club. Maguire gets the ball away, looking for Ellis. Ellis went without it. He'll play the first knock-on, Ashley Klein. That will be head and feed to St Helens.
Boy, this was a big collision. They talk about forwards being strong. What about the number 4 there, Willie Tallow? Put your shoulder in sunshine, bang! Well, Ellis will get used to that in Australia when he goes down next year.
He will, Gareth Ellis, but Phil, you were talking about seismic collisions before the match. There was one.
There was, and it was also a chance, I think, an opportunity which Leeds will look back on and think they could have put points on the board. The pass should have probably gone to Lee Smith, but it was an opportunity which is easy to watch from here and one that they didn't take. I'll tell you what I'm impressed with though, Leeds' defensive line speed, Eddie. How quickly they get back on side with the referee and then rush forward to contain St Helens, and that's such an important and very often invisible facet of the game of rugby league.
4 tackles gone, St Helens still inside their own half. It's with Price, now it's with Long. He gives it width and finds Wellens. Here is Willie Tallow, and Tallow gets it wide to Francis Melly.
Just overstepped in, it was just a touch in front there, Melly. Maybe a metre behind, he could have gone with a little bit more force. That's a neat kick.
It is an accurate kick, picked up by Lee Smith. And Lee Smith gives it to Scott Donald. Important tackle in defence then from Willie Tallow. Here's Ryan Hall. What a night for him. He's missed the last 7 since he broke a foot against St Helens in the Challenge Cup semi-final.
Sean Long went pretty high on the little halfback Rob Barrow.
Penalty to the Leeds Rhinos. First one of the match.
Gidley not happy. Messing around, you've got to roll away. Failed to do that. Made himself awkward. This was a hit from Long on his opposite, Rob Barrow. Both the halfbacks are going to be key players. That's this fella Matt Gidley as well. Can he provide that wonderful combination where A.D. Gardner has scored so many tries this year?
10 years ago in the inaugural grand final in 1998 when Leeds played Wigan, we had the most wretched night weather-wise. We had a classic match. We have another wretched night here. The rain is teeming down. It is a typical Old Trafford rugby league occasion, but it has not affected the players much so far. Here is Kevin Sinfield, the Leeds skipper.
Interesting to see how Leeds, if they'll do the inside pass similar to what Saints have done.
Burrow gives it to Maguire, a little fumble from Maguire, just lost the momentum. It allowed those 3 to come in and affect the tackle. It's the last one, and Diskin waits dummy half for Leeds. Back it comes to Burrow. Burrow will hoist it, looking for Donald. And Gardner, I think, was the man who got hands to that.
I think you're right, this will be head and feet, a field to the Rhinos. A beautiful kick. It certainly took Donald first, but I think the last person it comes of is Gardner. And therefore, I think this will be head and feed to the Leeds outfit. Good play by Donald. Super kick from Rob Barrow. Interesting to find Sean McRae. Leeds yet again using Barrow as first receiver.
Yes, and he's just about, I think that might be an obstruction from the scrum there. And here's someone as a decoy and obviously interfere with the line. But just watching here from the scrum, you can't go through the line and just stay there. It's one of those rules. I agree totally with that. You're loitering in the line. That does affect the defending player. That's a very good decision by Ashley Klein.
Very good decision by Ashley Klein. Maybe not the best by the Leeds Rhinos, because that was on the first tackle after they had possession from the scrum 10 metres away from the St Helens line. That's a big error, grand final night. Here is Kieran Cunningham.
The big problem for the Rhinos at the moment, they've had 2 golden opportunities and they've just frittered them away. Can't afford to do that against Saints. You won't get many of those in the first half.
This is Paul Wellens now. Wellens top winner. Now Harry Sunderland Award candidate. It would be the first time that anyone's ever won both in the same year. Another break from Gilmore. Yet another break from Lee Gilmore, but he's stranded on his own there. All the St Helens attackers had overrun him. He gets the penalty though for a high shot.
Well, he got a bad knock involved in the previous tackle and he reeled away, and in fact he was having a rest He was like a sweeper, and that enabled him to get across. But on the second occasion, silly penalty. Saints on the charge.
They are not taking the 2 points on offer. They're looking for the full 6 here. As Cunningham goes down the left and finds Graham. He spins away from one challenge. James Graham still going, getting to within 3 metres of the line. Cunningham is the dummy half, scheming, looking both ways, finds Long. Long then gives it to Flannery, and Flannery can't get the ball away to Gidley. Takes the tackle from Senior, plays it here to Leon Price. This is Gidley, and Gidley, great defence, forced into touch by Donald and Diskin.
Super stuff. They stood up strong. Daniel Anderson thought perhaps they just sneaked in at the corner. Something that Saints have done for many years under the tutelage of Daniel Anderson. They like nothing better than using that short blind side, but good work by the winger. And helped along with Matt Diskin. Brian McLennan, he'll be shocked by that poor defensive pattern of the play of the ball that allowed the break there, which gave them the first try to Graham.
Be very pleased with all the defence previously to put Gidley into touch. St Helens scored off that exact same formation the last time they met. They managed to get Gidley running at Little Rob Burrow, and he got over and through him and scored. This time Diskin was there, and they know Gidley does pose a massive threat for the white jerseys.
Just like to point out that James Graham getting off the tackle player there, number 17 for St Helens, the first prop forward to start a grand final, to actually score in a grand final. Stuart Fielden did it for the Bradford Bulls, but he came on as a substitute, so a little bit of history there for James Graham, and as I said, what an end to what has been a fantastic personal week for him.
He's a tremendous player, but a bit of a problem.
Well, Jamie Jones-Buchanan is pouring blood from a head wound.
It's quite a bad cut.
Oh, and he's in some discomfort and some distress, is Jamie Jones.
Can you sort him here, or?
I don't know what on earth he's hit, but he's hit something there. Look,
Just make sure.
Was it a stray boot, perhaps?
That's all right.
It's all right going down here.
the knee.
Yeah.
It was the knee of his colleague there.
In fact, you can see the blood, actually.
Is it Danny Maguire's knee?
Yeah, it is, Maguire, and Maguire's holding the knee as well. That's how big an impact it was.
I think the breaking play actually helps Leeds. They've been under pressure, they haven't played well in the opening 15 minutes, but there's a stop in the momentum of the game for St Helens. They're able to get the breath back here before they defend, and maybe just have a quick word with one another.
How's the knee of Danny Maguire? Jamie Jones-Buchanan bravely, he's just been strapped up. Look at him, and he's first into the tackle. Blood pumping from that wound on the top of the head, and yet there he is, just strapped up, got the elastoplaster, whatever it is, on the wound, and he's carrying on. They're so brave.
A little bit more than elastoplast, Eddie, but I must say, this is no game for softies, that's for sure. They've got to get themselves organised. Saints are passing it out wide.
Good hands again, find Melly. Melly is tackled on the last. And here now is Leon Price. He'll hoist this high. That's spinning all over the place. Donald's after this. And Scott Donald claims it, and Long with a great chase. Not tackled though, says the referee.
And that is good refereeing by Ashley Klein. He was so close, realised that the tackle had not been completed. Long just slipped away off the boot. It's important now that Leeds just calm things down a little bit. Brian McLennan's got to get the message out there. There's no point in rushing. They've rushed on a couple of occasions and they've come up with the error.
Burrow will play the ball here to Lee Smith, who finds Maguire. And Maguire is through the first line of defence, but he couldn't get away from Gidley. Leeds wanted to get on with it quickly. Diskin clapping his hands, gets it, then gives it to Sinfield. Oh, here's a tester for Francis Melly. Oh, he's taken out there. Taken out by the chase. The chase from Ablett was illegal.
Not impressed, Brian McLennan. Tactics were right. Ablett screaming through. Well, I'm not so sure.
Well, he's trying to put him off, but he's not making any attempt to catch the ball.
I think he's been harshly done by them.
He waves his hand in front of his eyes to distract Melly. quite successful, but he's ended up losing ground here,
I
losing
don't know if
possession.
that's a penalty though, Phil.
No.
I mean, from a coaching perspective, I'd be asking the question, saying, well, tell me why that's a penalty. I think you can do what you like if you don't interfere with the player. I'm not sure there's any rule to say you can't do what Carl Ablett did.
Jamie, his turn.
That's Bryn Hargreaves, who plays the ball to Cunningham. Here is Leon Price. That's a big hit there by Ellis and Scruton. This now is Long. Gets it away to Flannery. Good work in defence from Senior. Great work from Leeds. Last tackle here. And St Helens just losing their way a bit. The kick is a bit frantic from Leon Price. So Ryan Hall will run this ball back at them.
Well, it took nearly 20 minutes against Wigan when Leeds really started to just get a little bit of an impact, get over the advantage line, and that came about by the running from dummy half from Rob Barrow. We mentioned earlier, he's been quite happy to take the first receiver. He's there again. He's got to get himself a little bit more involved, perhaps.
This is Danny Maguire. That's the fourth tackle. St Helens have topped the table after the weekly rounds 4 years in a row. Yet they have won the Super League only once. If they lose here tonight, you have to ask the question whether they really can be named as the greatest St Helens team of all time. Maybe that will be a little bit of added incentive for them. As Melly takes that high ball. Here now is Paul Wellens. But good defence from the champions here. They've been hit by the early blow of conceding the first try, but they've muscled up, haven't they? They are making it a real contest. And so they will, because, of course, they are the champions of the Engage Super League, reigning.
Saints are getting a little bit sort of ragged.
Fozzard's coming on.
You could see there, Eddie, that they were getting a little bit tired. It wasn't the best pass. It was picked up by the prop forward, James Graham.
Fozzard comes on. It's his last game in St Helens colours. He's off to Hull Kingston Rovers. And remember the way he tormented Leeds with the runs at Knowsley Road a couple of weeks ago. But again, great hands from St Helens. The kick down the line, though, isn't the best, and it's picked up by Lee Smith. What a run from Lee Smith!
Tremendous stuff. You've got to credit Saints, though, in these awful conditions. They're keeping it out wide. They're giving it quick hands all the time, and they've given away a penalty.
Offside. Was that Nick Fozzard's first involvement, giving away the penalty, being in front of the referee, and to play the ball?
Tremendous play, though, by Lee Smith. Positioned himself quite superb. They were very slow, and you can see Fozzard made no attempt to get back on the 10. In fact, he was a metre in front of Ashley Clyde.
He was loitering with intent as well when the kick went down the line. This is Jamie Peacock for the Leeds Rhinos. Despite the fact that they have conceded the try, it's not been a bad opening 20 minutes from Leeds. Burrow, Senior, and Senior gets the ball away brilliantly to Jamie Jones-Buchanan.
Did well to pull that in. There was heavy traffic around him.
And here now is Nick Scruton. They're underneath the St Helens post, the Rhinos, with Diskin. And it bounced off somebody, went backwards, play on. And Burrow will give it to Senior. And Senior will take them on down this left channel. And numbers come over to bring him down. Quick play the ball, Burrow again. Whoops. Very slippery surface, lush Old Trafford pitch.
It's got to be a good kick.
Maguire hoists it again, and Francis Melly in the in-goal area diffuses the bomb. And St Helens want to get on with it, and the ball didn't come cleanly enough to Kieran Cunningham, but good work from Melly over there.
Clearly, Eddie, Francis Melly has become a target for the Leeds Rhinos. They've kicked to him for pretty much all the time. One kick to Eddie Gardner in the early exchanges, but then all of a sudden it's Kevin Sinfield into that bottom left-hand corner where Francis Melly's been put under a lot of pressure. So far he's come up with it. I think he got away with a very good decision, by the way, when Carl Ablett went through before.
27 weekly rounds were played. Leeds boasted the best defence. St Helens boasted the best attack. The two best teams in the country we're watching here tonight, as Long picks the ball up from dummy half. It was outside the 40-metre mark, so no chance of a 40-20. He kicked on the fourth tackle, so early. And he's there trying to harass Lee Smith and harassing him. He's harassed him illegally.
Said he stripped the ball there, Sean Long. Big smile all over his face. Backed him down.
I think he's got him for the grapple tackle, you know. I think it was a high shot around the neck.
Yeah.
Just make sure our referee, Kev, all right?
Little doubt about that. Lee Smith would have felt it as well.
He's proved how dangerous he can be, Lee Smith, though. On the previous kick return, had Wellens not tackled him, Eddie, he was through and it was a try.
Here is Gareth Ellis. No one will want to leave Headingley without a grand final winner's ring tonight, and Gareth Ellis, he will be leading the charge for the victory. This is Burrow, gets it away again to Jamie Jones. Wonderful play! Lee Smith for the Rhinos! Momentum takes him home. Try for Lee Smith. That try's been coming a while. And Lee Smith, the perceived weakling, filling in at full-back for Brent Webb. But boy, he has come to the party tonight. The run down the wing earlier on, halted only by Wellens, and St Helens' defence this time could do nothing to prevent the try. Lee Smith and Leeds could be level in a minute.
All came about from the grapple tackle from Sean Long. The penalty got them up the field, and they've done some wonderful offloading here, and none more so than Jamie Jones Buchanan. What an effort back on the inside. Watch the strength here. Bang. He's going through. He knew he was going to slide over. What a game, the fullback Lee Smith. The big doubt. Could he stand into the shade of the shoes of Brent Webb? The answer is yes. It's in the affirmative. What a 5 minutes from this guy.
Fantastic effort from Lee Smith, and how about the kick as well from the penalty that really gained Leeds some valuable ground. And now here is Kevin Sinfield. Can he add the extras? Yes, he can. We are level pegging in the Engage Super League Grand Final of 2008. It's 6 apiece.
It'll be interesting to see now whether Daniel Anderson throws into the fray James Roby. And it looks as though Roby is going to be out there for the kickoff. Super play, though, by the big second rower, Jamie Jones Buchanan. And the finish from Lee Smith.
And Roby is there. He is out there now, James Roby. 6-all at Old Trafford. Pouring down. Weather forecasters have got it spot on today. They said that we would be deluged from about 4 o'clock, and so it has proved to be. We've had just about 2 hours and 25 minutes of incessant rain. But what a match for all of that. The handling is absolutely magnificent. And this is Senior. A good job that Long got to him. Burrow. It's Sinfield. And Sinfield gives it to Diskin. And Diskin gets the ball away to Scott Donald, who finds Gareth Ellis. And he'll run it back up the middle where going is tough.
A little bit tentative of the Saints defence, and all of a sudden some are moving up, others are standing back. Not the best pass. Jamie Jones Buchanan picks it up. He's out back to 6.
That's the last tackle. Referee didn't wipe it down. Here is Burrow, left-footed down the line. That will stay in the field of play. There will be work here to do for Paul Wellens.
Look at the chase there.
It's been like that for 26 minutes now from Leeds.
Superb. We mentioned the fact, Eddie, that all you had to do was to really just keep calm, not panic, get into a good position, and they took full advantage of it.
Leeds have been in this position 3 times previously. Most notably in 1969, then in 1970 when they lost to St Helens in a championship final. They have never, ever won back-to-back league titles before in their history. They want to put that record to bed tonight. Last tackle for St Helens. Long with a kick downfield. It just fooled Ryan Hall a little, but he picks it up and he's got space ahead of him, which is suddenly closed down by Paul Clough. 60th St Helens appearance for Clough tonight, number 21. There he is.
Well, he's the everywhere man, isn't he? The fullback Lee Smith for Leeds. He's working very strong, and Wilking could have been penalised perhaps.
This is Ellis again. Gets as far as Fossard and Graham, and Roby was low down. Injury news in the grand final. Bill?
Yeah, Jamie Jones-Buchanan has finally had to come off. He's had more tape put on. While that conversion was being lined up by Kevin Sinfield, he had more tape put on that wound. There's still blood coming through it. So he's come off. Ali Lauatiti has gone on. Almost went on in his warm-up bib. He was on the field, actually, all in yellow, which could have caused a bit of confusion.
It could have done indeed, but here is Adi Gardner. Lauatiti, his 4th grand final with Leeds. He's on, number 14, there he is.
They're muscling up, aren't they, the Rhinos? Very, very strong indeed. There's the blood stain. Jones-Buchanan.
Penalty here for St Helens. Interference.
Well, they did all the hard work and then just messed around. And as soon as Diskin pulled him down, he had a right old go at his own teammates, shakes his head in disbelief.
I'll tell you what they have got right tonight, the Leeds Rhinos, guys. They've got their tactics are absolutely brilliant. They're absolutely spot on. They're kicking early, they're applying a lot of pressure. You know, St Helens, in 28 minutes of rugby league, you normally expect them to have 10, maybe even 12 sets down in the opposition half. I don't think they've had 4. I can count maybe 3 where they've been down inside the half and put pressure on the Leeds Rhinos. It's all about the Leeds Rhinos that are building a lot of momentum and a lot of pressure on St Helens. At the moment, Saints are just hanging on. They need something special.
This is Roby, and Long is the dummy half. Gets it wide and finds Wilkin. Kirk is the man who cuts him down.
Well, they should be looking for the inside pass again, which split them early.
Long hoists the kick.
It's a good
He's
one.
got Smith backpedaling. Well played, Lee Smith. And he ducked underneath the challenge of Maui Fasavalou, but he couldn't get away from Lee Gilmore. Here's Big Ali Lauatiti. This night is made for someone like Lauatiti. And Ellis has seen plenty of it as well. 9th meeting with St Helens in a major final. Leeds 5 wins in the past, St Helens 3. Daniel Anderson, farewell tonight. Off to Australia, and remarkably no position in the world of rugby league after the most incredible 3.5 years in the Super League.
Well, I don't think he'll be in the job centre for long. He's such a talented coach, that is for sure, but he knows he's going to have to come up with something pretty special now. Saints, they look as though they just want to have a little bit of a rest, and that is a bad error.
It was an error, and St Helens are being rattled by this fierce Leeds onslaught.
Well, this is a massive opportunity, and Brian McLennan knows it. Leeds are good from scrums, and tactically they've switched Keith Senior, who's made his reputation for the last 10 years that playing on the left side of the field. He's now filling in at right centre, looking to combine with Ryan Hall.
Yes, he's swapped sides. Half an hour gone, 6-all. Leeds in possession with Gareth Ellis. And of course, this match here tonight, this grand final, will be featuring, well, there could be any number of players who will be named by Tony Smith, the England coach, on Tuesday for the World Cup in Australia at the end of the month. Oh, that ball's come free! And here is Talau. Oh, he's lost it. Leeds have got it back with Ryan Hall.
Lauatiti comes to the rescue, or was it Ablett, I think? Oh, that went forward.
It did. Well, suddenly the conditions are beginning to play a part.
Well, I was just going to make the point that there's only been 4 errors in 30 minutes, and there's one from Maguire.
And there's another from Lauatiti, and here's another from Ian Kirk.
Did it just touch forward? Yes, according to the official. But it was Ryan Hall that came to the rescue again.
So St Helens from the scrum with Wellens. He will play the ball to Leon Price, who helps it on to Fossard, who tried to drill his way straight through the chest of Jamie Peacock. Roby will wait and finds Gilmore. Great hit by Ellis. This defence from Leeds is cruel. Long. Oh, a little half break from Long. He shouldn't go then.
There was no one on the inside, though. They didn't expect it. They've got to be a little bit more alert, Saints.
Someone on the inside now. It's a penalty for obstruction. Well, he's consistent, Ashley Klein, and no complaints about that.
I'm not so sure that this is classified.
He ran behind Wellens.
There's a pretty fair way back. Maybe he's got him for that one, yeah. I mean, Wellens doesn't have to get out of the way. Either way, Leeds are happy. They've got the penalty, and it's a good kick forward as well. Their kicking game has improved. It was a bit shoddy in the first opening 15 minutes, but I must say they've improved on that department.
But you're right that Wellens doesn't have to get out of the way in situations like that, but Wilkin mustn't use him as a shield. This is Diskin now at dummy half for the Rhinos. They go down that right channel with Maguire. He gives it to Senior. That's a big hit, but he still manages to get the ball away, and Peacock just fiddled with it for a moment.
Again, we haven't seen a run from Rob Burrow. First receiver is screaming for it.
He's going to get it as well. Showed it to Scruton, gave it instead to Lee Smith. Smith gives it back to Ellis. Ellis goes down on the 4th. 15 metres away from the St Helens line. Burrow to Lauatiti. Down he goes on the last. And that's how close the Leeds Rhinos are. This is Sinfield. He'll hoist the kick here. Ryan Hall palms it back to Senior. Senior flicks the ball inside to Kirk. Desperate defence on show from St Helens. And they manage to repel the boarders.
Good work from the fullback, Paul Wellens. Had to be as well, the big fella Kirk. Good jump back on the inside.
So Saints now trying to work the ball away from their own line. Flying tackle from Nick Scruton.
The power in the Leeds defence. Look at them coming out quickly. They're forcing St Helens down that very narrow path down the middle.
Roby just showed it then and decided to take the responsibility himself. And now Ellis is trying to put him on the deck. With help from Scruton, with help from Diskin, he goes down eventually.
I've been shouting for the likes of Rob Burrow to start doing a run, ask a few questions, but we've got to say the same about Leon Price as well. He has not figured yet.
Gidley goes down on the last. Here is Leon Price. Helps it on then into the middle of the park to Sean Long. Pumps the ball over the top of Lee Smith.
Brilliant.
Who will collect it on his own line.
I think generally the kicking games of both sides has been pretty good, hasn't it? It's been spot on in most cases and very, very accurate, and been able to build a lot of pressure out of it.
Ryan Hall played the ball to Maguire. Here is Senior again. St Helens muscling up in defence. Donald. Offside. Not standing square.
Lack of discipline. Creating all sorts of problems. Daniel Anderson, the Saints coach, got to get the message out. You see there quite clearly that Paul Clough, he'd peeled away well before. Roby had gone to left, Clough had gone to the right.
He keeps gaining 30 or 30 to 40 metres when he gets those penalty kicks to touch for Leeds, and that's a massive advantage. Look here now, they're starting to win the battle in this underground tunnel in the middle of the field, Eddie.
They are indeed. It's been an impressive first half from the Leeds Rhinos, and it's just as tight as it was 12 months ago. At half-time 2007, it was 8-6 to Leeds. Look at it now, 6-all within the last 5 of this first half. Here is Maguire. Maguire to Big Ali Lauatiti. He tried to run over the top of Long. The reinforcements came in. Maguire trying to go himself. Halted by Wellens, Long and Clough. Lauatiti waiting at dummy half. Lauatiti to Rob Burrow. Burrow then on to Sinfield. Sinfield wide and flicked wide again to Ryan Hall. And Ryan Hall might have scored here. Ryan Hall might have scored here. He cannot look for the forward pass over there.
It's a try, all right. He wants to make sure there's Ashley Klein, but it's a wonderful effort from Ryan Hall, who got his opportunity only because Brent Webb was injured. You can see that this sliding defence has been caught out. What about the flick on from Senior?
Nothing wrong with that.
That's okay. What about the little kick through? I think he gets a hand to this. This is going to be TRY, and the Rhinos hit the front for the first time. That'll do it.
Oh, you can't give that. You cannot give that.
knock on first, Steve?
Well, we'll have to wait and see.
The checking the line, there's nothing wrong with that.
I think he'll give this downward pressure with the forearm.
This has got to watch the first contact.
It hits his
Forward.
left hand first,
Yeah.
and then he's grounded by the right hand.
I reckon
right
he'll give
arm.
it. I'd give it.
Well, Ryan Hall thinks he scored, and all the Leeds players and supporters think he has. The video referee is Ben Thaler. They've checked the grounding a couple of times, and they're keeping their fingers crossed. What does Ben Thaler say? He's given it. Well, that's a controversial moment in the grand final. But take nothing away from Ryan Hall. The play deserved it, but it looked for all money that he'd knocked the ball forward first off. But Ryan Hall and Leeds won't be grumbling. They hit the front again, just as they did just before half-time last year. And Leeds, having conceded the first try, will turn round ahead.
They got caught, didn't they, the sliding defence. See how they went in shot solid. Pulls him out wide. Melly went for the big hit. Kick through. And I think he just forces it down with the right arm. The forearm, it's sufficient.
Big kick from Sinfield. Big kick from Sinfield. Off the post and in. Champions 12. Pretenders 6.
Well, we talked about a lot of factors in the build-up to this game, but one thing you do need if you want to be the winners is a little bit of luck. And I think here, Steve, it goes the way of Leeds.
Well, it may be so, Phil, but I think that he had the forearm and it was slow. The fans, they are in ecstasy. Remember, Saints.
Offside.
Oh, he's come out. How many times do we see that in the game of rugby league? Scruton from the kickoff. He does a Liverpool kiss to the ball. He knows he has just given Saints the golden opportunity to square things up.
Well, Scruton had to pick it up, didn't, and then it touched Lee Smith, and that means Lee Smith offside. Glorious chance for St Helens here. Leon Price stepping over the bodies. This is a big set of 6 for Leeds, a big set of 6 for Saints. Fasavalou. Ah, he's gifted it to Donald.
Well, how do you stop panic creeping in when the decision goes against you? This is a big test here now for St Helens. If you want to be champions, sometimes you have to be good enough to win when a goal in football or a try in rugby goes against you, which you don't feel justified. Saints have to recover pretty quickly.
From Daniel Anderson, bidding farewell and trailing by the looks of things at half-time. But they are delighted, the Leeds supporters. Last tackle here. Saints will get another opportunity. Oh, hang on, Sinfield jinked away from a couple. Good kick as well, finds the deck. Gardner will pick it up eventually.
Oh, the pressure, they're trying to keep it out wide. Melly's on a run. Oh, what's he doing?
Leeds have got it back. They have a minute to claim another try. This is Sinfield, here is Peacock. Down he goes.
We spoke about the Rhinos midway through this first half, trying to just calm things down. It's going to be the same with Saints now. They're trying to force a pass in shocking conditions.
McLennan is on his way down. This is Peacock.
I wouldn't worry about a try. I'd take a 1 point here.
This is Sinfield. Here is Burrow. Burrow back to Maguire, almost through Nick Fozzard. Last tackle. Well, are they setting for
He's
it?
got to go for one.
It is Kevin Sinfield. Well, he went for the opportunity and he's lost it. They were looking for the 1 point.
Well, you can give Leon Price a massive pat on the back for St Helens here, Eddie. Look how hard he works quickly to get up, close down Sinfield, who wants to kick it on that side, checks back inside, opportunity's gone, and it looks like the first half's over.
It is indeed, and perhaps the grand final's over for Leon Price because he's down and he's clutching his shoulder, and it doesn't look good for Price, but it looks very good for Leeds. They conceded the first try, and he's in some distress there, is Leon Price. The signal's gone to the bench, and a cheque to Christie's for another £20,000. One of them was the proceeds from the Man of the Match award in memory of the great Mike Gregory that we have been running here on Sky Sports throughout 2008, and in association with our friends at Engage Mutual Assurance, the Super League sponsors. So, the words of Daniel Anderson are ringing in the St Helens players' heads. What will it do to them in this second half as Clough drives the ball forward for St Helens?
I think he may have to show his hand and bring out Kieran Cunningham again. As we mentioned at half-time, Eddie, he's done it so many times, hasn't he, for this Saints outfit. They need someone out there to steady the ship, ask a few questions. Long nearly got through.
Cunningham warming up, long haul down by Scruton. Price with the kick, obviously the eye injury, no problems for him, and no problems there for Lee Smith to pluck that ball out of the air. Right, down to the touchline. Is it three drowned rats? Bill, Terry and Barry.
The rain's still hammering down here. The only casualty, remarkably, in a real battle of attrition out there, Jamie Jones-Buchanan, that bang on his head early on. He's had 6 stitches in a really deep gash. But Saints have taken a battering at half-time from their coach, Terry. I mean, in between the fury, what will he have been telling them?
He would have been telling them that the forwards are just not laying any platform whatsoever. He always fancied if it was going to be rain, the questions would have been asked, would the Leeds pack overpower the St Helens team? And what he's saying to him is, you've got to start laying a platform for our half-backs in Sean Long.
And Brian McLennan walked past us, Barry, smiling, looking very happy with life, as well he might.
Why wouldn't you be? I think they set out there with a game plan, and his players have executed that game plan first class. I think the kicking game that they set out with, kicking early in the tackle count, has paid dividends for them. Lee Smith has been outstanding at the back, and consequently those back three have got the role started very much a lot earlier than the Saints side.
St Helens can play on, according to Ashley Klein. This is Leon Price. He's cut down by Ian Kirk. It was.
Knock on. Ooh, it looked as though it bobbled there. They're very fortunate. Surely this will be a high one into the corner. Ooh, that looked like a knock on, didn't it?
It's in the air from the boot of Sean Long. It's palm back, and there's a chance here for Gidley. Gidley gets St Helens the start that Daniel Anderson demanded. Didn't ask for it, he demanded it. And Gidley with the try for St Helens. He won an NRL Grand Final with Newcastle 7 years ago. He's aiming to join an elite band of players who have won both the United Kingdom and Australia. And Gidley, well, Daniel Anderson gave his men the rounds of the kitchen. He had a few home truths, and Gidley comes up with the try.
Ooh, that looked like a knock on to me. It certainly left the fingertips. Take nothing away from the kick. Pinpoint accurate from Sean Long. Bounced up, and Gidley went underneath. You've got to take your chances, and they certainly have on this occasion. I said it would be a toss-up, Eddie, whether some of these players would respond to such a rollicking, and let's face it, I have never, ever seen Daniel Anderson in that mood whatsoever. It made it quite clear that they were not doing any hard work. They were not working as a unit. There was on that occasion, and this is a pressure kick from Sean Long.
It is. Way out on the right-hand side, Long with the kick, and Long has the extras. They scored first in the first half. They've scored first in the second. It's 12-all.
And what a beautiful advantage it has to be for the red and white. Look at this man here. Is he mad? Is he angry? Oh, yes, he is. Beautiful pinpoint kick.
They were able to translate that aggression into the start of the second half. They carried the ball strongly to begin this 40-minute period. They got up and over the halfway line easily, and then they contained Leeds to about a 20-metre game when they had possession. Leeds need to find some aggression to match St Helens right now.
Sean McRae, you have to know as a coach, I would imagine, when to be tough with your players, when to be kind. That was arguably the biggest half-time rollicking this lot have had in 3.5 years.
Well, it's quite possible, Eddie, but I think it's warranted. I think that what Daniel Anderson was pointing out to these players was that they haven't played the way they've practiced. They haven't played the way their game plan was organised. And the fact is, you might say the other side hasn't let them play. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that at times, St Helens have just been a bit too loose, playing a bit the way they've got away with things throughout the year. But in these conditions, you have to play a bit tighter, and they've indicated that from the start of this second half. They're just going to go forward, not look for too many offloads too early, and try to build a bit of pressure on the Leeds Rhinos team.
We've never had a Super League Grand Final go to extra time. We had last week's National League I Grand Final go to extra time with Sean McRae, the Salford City Reds, winning against the Celtic Crusaders at the end of the day. I wonder whether we're going to watch a little bit of history here tonight. We shall see. 12-all. Plenty of time, though. Plenty of time for either of these two sides to win this match.
And the confidence is showing there. Alilau Titi in tight position, got the offload. Here's a high kick.
Great kick from Sinfield, this. Nelly's underneath it, though. And Ryan Hall does his job in bringing him down.
Well, the big question before the kick-off, how much would Leeds miss Brent Wyam? Could Ryan Hall come back after, what, 7 weeks? Lee Smith playing in the fullback. I know he's played there a few times, but he has been the hero so far.
Great offload. Roby finds the man in support, who is John Wilkin. Cunningham is pacing and prowling on the touchline, ready to come on. He does now to replace Mauri Farsavalu.
And you can guarantee that he'll start. Next time they get possession, he will start to run a lot more from dummy half.
Lee Smith for Leeds. He has handled this full-back job manfully tonight. Mind you, we heard Barry McDermott tell us in the build-up to the kick-off that full-back is Lee Smith's preferred position. And Phil, do you think he could be playing his way onto the plane for England?
I very much do. He scored a try early in the season at Headingley, which just had world-class written all over it, where he ran onto a kick from Danny Maguire, scored it under the sticks, and I thought then he was something special. He's played about 2/3 of the season for Leeds this year, not been in every game. He's showing that he can handle the pressure here tonight.
Yes, and he got a try in last year's Grand Final success as well. He was full-back actually in the Cup semi-final against Saints in July. Not only that, he got a couple of tries last week against Wigan. Rob Burrow, oh, that's bounced off the shoulder of Gilmore. It's not a charge down, so the referee says it's still on the last. So Lee Smith hacks it back, and that's a great kick. That's a fantastic kick for Lee Smith.
Sensational. The gods are shining down on this young fella, that is for sure. The other thing about Lee Smith that I like is that, never mind his talent, he's tough. Won't take a backward step. This guy really gives it to him. Some of the Saints players, they're looking a little bit tired. I know they've squared things up, but there was really no pressure applied to this guy.
Well, the interesting thing about St Helens, and the referee is actually asking the video referee to check whether it's a possible 40-20 here. The interesting thing about St Helens is they've only played one game in the past 4 weeks. They've only played twice since they won the Cup. It is a 40-20.
Yeah. Both feet are in the, that's a 40-20, and boy, was he the hero? Yes, so far.
That's Leeds Rhinos' first 40-20 of the season. And here is Danny Maguire, and he finds Gareth Ellis. There was movement then, but Sean Long and Gidley were up to the threat. This is Lauatiti.
Will they work the short blind side?
Diskin, they're coming up the middle here with Peacock. They will be angry, Leeds, that they were overlooked at the Man of Steel ceremony on Tuesday night. They have points to prove here tonight. They're champions, for goodness sake. And this is Sinfield, and here is Senior. And he brushes away from one, and he gets the ball to Burrow. And Burrow goes underneath a couple. Good job that Fozzard got a hand on him. This is Diskin, here is Sinfield. Sinfield slides the kick in, it's Maguire! And Danny Maguire for the Leeds Rhinos! The try is given! Great try from Maguire, right underneath the sticks. 1-4-9 for Leeds Rhinos now. And he is the first man to score in 3 restored the Leeds advantage, and it's all down to Lee Smith and that 40-20 and some great approach work.
Here it is. Tremendous stuff. I pointed out that some of the Saints players looked a little bit tired there, and from the advantage, this is what happens. Beautiful play. Sinfield through the dummy. Surprising that Ashley Klein didn't go and have a look at the video referee on this. Is he in front? Oh, it's pretty close, but it's just waved it away as Ashley Klein, and Maguire knew exactly where the kick was going to come from Kevin Sinfield. Sinfield has been enormous with a kicking boot tonight.
And he's bang in front of the six now, and he's going to restore the Leeds Rhinos 6-point advantage. 18-12 in the teeming rain at the Theatre of Dreams. And at the moment, the Leeds fans are smiling. And Danny Maguire tries in 3 different grand finals.
And it's all about knowing what your partner's going to do. But I think from every angle that I've watched that, he's happy, and why wouldn't he be? He's got the Leeds colours on. But it really has stunned me that Ashley Klein did not take the decision to hand it up to video referee Ben Thaler.
Well, he obviously got very confident calls from touch judges, and he awarded the try without second thinking.
Well, a measure of the quality of these two teams when it comes to defending, Eddie, is the fact that the last 2 tries have both come through kicks. Passing plays running into holes and gaps aren't allowed, but here he's clearly onside. The ball's hit the foot, he's behind the player. Great decision by the 2 touch judges and the referee.
Penalty to St Helens here. Lauatiti's ball-carrying arm touched the ground, and then he passed the ball away. Watch this. There, tackle's effected, Gilmore all over him, and he got the ball away, so penalty.
It's an amazing thing, isn't it, when you've got so much talent like this Ali Lauatiti has, is that sometimes you just overplay it, and he has on that occasion. Don't write Saints off, here they come.
Graham. This is Cunningham, the big guns are back there for St Helens. This is Price, and Leon Price clawed to the ground by 1, 2, 3, 4 Leeds Rhinos defenders. Long, Graham. Well, it was an impossible pass from Long to Graham. He was absolutely surrounded then. Cunningham to Sean Long, had to stoop to pick the ball up. They switched the direction of this attack. Here is Willie Tallow. And Tallow goes round one, gives it to Francis Melly. No penalty for the obstruction then. Tallow's the dummy half. This is Wilkin. Now Graham then to Long. Great defence from Lauatiti.
Will it do the power play rather than the kick?
Lauatiti then like a giant all over him. Wilkin. Oh, hacked into the in-goal area. And Lee Smith runs the ball dead. It's a goal line dropout.
Great play from both sides. Beautiful kick through. Wilkin knew exactly in the in-goal area. Oh boy, what a game this fella had. Lee Smith. Kicked straight through by Ryan Hall.
Well, this Lee Smith, it's the stuff of fairy tales, because, I mean, we don't have a vote for man of the match and the Harry Sunderland Award here at the grand final. But I think at the moment, Sean McRae is head and shoulders above the rest.
Well, he's been magnificent all game, and particularly in the start of this second half, when you consider that all he wanted to do was go back and retrieve a ball that had come off a St Helens player, that he kicks down the field, and it's a 40-20, and that sets up for their try. And then he just has a little bit of, you need a little bit of luck sometimes, but you know, sometimes we talk about luck is where opportunity meets preparation, and Lee Smith has obviously got put into big shoes tonight to replace Brent Webb, and he's handled it so well.
This is Roby, and Luluai gets to him, and with help from Diskin, they force him back a couple of metres. Cunningham to Graham. Graham shrugs off one and nearly gets away, and Diskin did well. Cunningham down the short side. Gilmore.
The Leeds defence is so solid and tight. Saints are having difficulty trying to even offload.
Fozzard! Fozzard! They get him down on the last. It's with Long. Here is Price. Price to Roby. Great defence, Ryan Hall.
Boy, it was a great effort effort. Fozzard,
He
they
needed a
couldn't
sat
stop
nav,
him.
Steve-O.
He was just about spinning around. The tension out there. Fozzard thought for all the world he was going to get over.
He went round the roundabout and took the wrong turn, did Nick Fozzard.
When St Helens are attacking your line, they throw a number of multiple choice questions at you. So many players could receive possession that you have to make those very quick defensive decisions and get them right. Otherwise, there are 4 more points on the scoreboard.
With a 6-point lead, you can control the game, and this is where you utilise the kicking, and it's a good one yet again. This load up.
Magnificent kick from Rob Burrow. Here's Wellens, and Burrow following up, gets the first collision in.
My mind goes back, you know, when Leeds, they really crucified Bradford here at Old Trafford, and it was the kicking game all night that just turned around the Bulls, and they're doing the same again at Leeds, only this time it's against the mighty Saints. Diskin has a problem.
Cunningham finds. Long on his shoulder, but Peacock was equal to the task. Here's Fozzard again. Gets the offload. Cunningham finds Leon Price. He's had a quiet grand final. Leeds have seen to that. 15 minutes of the second half gone. Last tackle for St Helens. Long. That's... Oh, it's zero tackle here. Zero tackle, says the referee. It was a charge down. I think it was by Maguire. I think the arms were up. 6 to go for St Helens. Roby. Well, the arms came up. Instinctively maybe, but they came up.
Doesn't matter. Bit of a high shot there on Graham.
Long, and now it's Flannery.
Saints have got to know that they've got to camp down there.
Here is Fozzard again.
They haven't got to try to win on every play of the ball.
This is the last tackle for them, though, this set of 6. Cunningham to Graham. He's held up. And that's the turnover right on the Leeds goal line.
He's not too happy about that, Daniel Anderson, but they realise now they can pull back the 10 metres. They can just hold them down in their own quarter. That's what they've got to do. Try to force the error. Brian McLennan, though, boy, he looks calm, doesn't he?
Well, 18-12, I suppose, why shouldn't he? The champions are ahead of the league leaders for the 4th year in a row. But they have this record, St Helens, having achieved that. They've only won 1 Super League grand final in that time. Diskin with another punishing run for the Leeds Rhinos. This is Sinfield. Under pressure from Wilkin, he got the kick away, but it's straight into the arms of Wellens. And here comes the counter. Oh! Danny Maguire straight in the face of Paul Wellens. Well, it wasn't in the face, it was off the chest and under the chops.
Big hit, though, isn't it? Well, it just shows you the power that they've got. Bit of a problem for Danny Maguire at times. He does have a tendency to slip high up over the shoulder.
Mauri Farsavalu.
Saints have got to try something a little bit different. Maybe a little chip over, anything, because this Leeds defence, they're finding them out.
Long. They're being forced up the middle, St Helens, aren't they? 2 weeks ago, they spun it wide. Admittedly, the conditions were totally different to this. It was a dry night at Nosey Road then, but they really did stretch Leeds either side of the park. Tonight, Leeds are keeping them up the middle, where the head-on collider is.
Well, they've got them here, haven't they? Do you know, St Helens have had the majority of possession at it, and they've had it in the best part of the field. Will their patience maintain, or will Leeds hit the fatigue?
Well, that was touched again by the Leeds Rhinos in flight, so it's 6 to go. And here is Long. And Long to Leon Price, and he almost went without it. He managed to get hold of it, according to Ashley Klein. Oh, that's an awful ball. Gardner to the rescue.
That's probably the first time Gardner's touched the football for about 20 minutes. That's how impressive the Leeds defence has been, especially out wide.
This is Gidley.
Both the centres are coming in on the angle.
Long, jinks inside one. Can't get away from the second man in. It was Luluai.
Well, when's Price going to ask a few questions?
Here is Roby. Wide they go, and Gardner! Super League's top try He got a try a week ago, 2 weeks ago rather, against the Leeds Rhinos, and he's got another one against them here at Old Trafford, at the Theatre of Dreams, on the biggest night of the year.
Well, for the first time, for a very long time, the Leeds defence is being caught. They'll be coming in on the angle. It was a very poor pass. Gardner goes down onto it. He is upset, as you can see, and those expressions will change somewhat. Beautiful pass there by James Roby. He could see that the sliding defence had been caught out. Bang! Straight away. Donald caught out. And the man who just keeps scoring tries for fun. Let's hope he does this in the World Cup down under. There he is, the man that's put Saints well and truly back in the game yet again.
Eddie Gardner. Now then, Sean Long has to produce another miracle kick, just as he did in the 3rd minute, to convert Matt Gidley's try. This to bring us back level pegging again. Long for 18 all. Not the best this time. 18-16.
With a sliding defence, you're going to take a gamble. Donald did that. He allowed plenty of space. He gleefully accepts it and slides into the corner. Bit of a heartthrob round St Helens way, this fella. But he's a hero for his coach, Daniel Anderson.
Let's get down to the sideline, Bill.
Eddie, the most impatient man down here on the sideline, certainly in the last 20 minutes, has been Ryan Bailey, one of the Leeds replacements, who hasn't had a look in. He has now. He's on the field in place of Kylie Luluai. Barry, why do you think that Brian McLennan's kept him back so long?
I think possibly when the Rhinos were in front, you need Bailey to rattle some cages. He's a guy that doesn't have much respect for reputations, and you choose your moment to expose him to the opponents, really. I think that's just about right now on 61 minutes.
And he's really revved up, I tell you that.
Yes, he looks it. He's not made a tackle yet, but he's been flying out of the line. This is the 4th tackle here for St Helens. Cunningham to Graham. James Graham is clawed down 14 metres away from his own line. Long. The kick is straight into the arms of Lee Smith. And here now goes Ryan Hall, tackled there by Kieran Cunningham.
Good scrambling as well by the winger. Leeds know how important it is to get over that halfway line, take control. The way that Kevin Sinfield is kicking, superb.
Burrow wide to Jamie Jones-Buchanan. Here now is Senior. Almost operating on that far side now, Keith Senior, as a standalone winger.
I think Scott Donald had just come in there. He's come from dummy half to warm himself up. It's been that long since he's been involved.
Sinfield, another great kick. Up it goes. This is a tester for Francis Melly. Oh, he's lost it. It's play on. Maguire swoops. And Maguire will chink his way for a magnificent try. Second try for Danny Maguire. St Helens couldn't cope with the aerial bombardment. And Danny Maguire just tiptoed his way to the line. I tell you what, Maguire is playing himself into World Cup contention tonight, as is Kevin Sinfield. We think Wellens has got a dislocated finger, but Danny Maguire's try has put daylight again between Leeds and Saints. The second try of the night for the mercurial Danny Maguire.
And it all came about from the high kick that Francis Melly made a right meal of. Take nothing away from the sidestepping skills of Danny Maguire. You know, a fortnight ago he was absolutely blitzed. Saints took him apart. He just was not at the races. But when this comes off the winger and it gives him the opportunity, look who got inside, outside, step and slide. Oh, that is magic to watch. Super stuff. Melly makes a meal. Maguire says it's mine. Maguire, he's making history. Absolutely superb.
He is making history. Maybe Kevin Sinfield's making personal history here. He's added the extras. He now joins the great Lewis Jones on 2 61. Has Maguire, has Sinfield put Leeds on the road to rewriting the history books and reclaiming the title here tonight?
Oh, they've made it out. They kicked off.
Wellens out on the full.
It's going to be one of those nights, boys. Not the best effort. They were shouting and screaming with the Leeds players. Leave it, leave it. Wellens couldn't believe it. Look at the expressions on those St. Helens fans. It's nearly as glum as what will be on the face of Daniel Anderson. He thought they'd come back when Gardner got the try out wide.
Well, Sinfield has been absolutely magnificent with the boot tonight.
Yeah.
Place kicking, but also, and that could be the key for Tony Smith to put him in the England jersey from the start. His kicking in general play has been out of the top drawer. St Helens are missing too many tackles.
And let's not forget that Tony Smith has made it quite clear he will only pick players who are in top form, and they are, aren't they?
Leeds are. This is Jamie Jones-Buchanan. He's over the sideline, though. Great defence this time from Sean Long.
Saints trying to get the scrum back down quickly so they can stop the clock. Super stuff. Jones-Buchanan knew that this weight added by the defence would take him over. Very quick. Is there a problem there for Kieran Cunningham?
Well, St Helens were very quick to get to that scrum. It's an 8-point ball game and there's only a quarter of an hour to go.
It's very unusual, Eddie, in these type of conditions to see long-range tries. I think St Helens are conscious of that as well. Look, they want to bull their way upfield, work down that middle, try and find some speed and get close to the line to show what skill they have.
Quickly down to Bill.
Eddie, I think Saints have got another problem. There seems to be an injury to Kieran Cunningham. He had a brief visit from the physio a moment ago. Doesn't look too injured at the moment, but I think he's got a problem with his left hand. Bill Wellens certainly has. His is all strapped up.
Great run from Cunningham. The kick from Long is a deft one. And Lee Smith is able to let the ball run dead, and there is a problem with Kieran Cunningham. Off he goes.
And it must be a major problem, Eddie, because he is the man that does not give in easily. It's going to take something spectacular because Leeds, they know they're building in confidence, they're bossing this game.
They are against a team, of course, with Kieran Cunningham off the field, who came into Old Trafford with a 23-game unbeaten run behind them. Their last defeat was on the 6th of April at Castleford. 30 points to 24. That run had to come to an end sometime. Nobody believed it would come to an end at Old Trafford. It still might not.
Still plenty of time, but they needed something very, very quickly to Saints. And again, the kick is outstanding.
And the chase isn't bad. The chase is not bad. In fact, the chase is outstanding. And it was Burrow leading the way.
Well, Eddie, if Leeds are to win this game, and certainly they're the favourites at the moment, then you've got to go back to that particular facet of the game. It's the kicking game, the chase, keeping the ball in play, putting pressure on Andy Gardner, putting pressure on Francis Melly. Those sorts of things have paid off very, very well for the Leeds Rhinos so far.
Another change being made right underneath us by St Helens as we watch this. Bryn Hargreaves comes on for Maori Farsavalu. Long has clipped another deep one. Ryan Hall has to walk this ball away from his own line.
That'll give them hope. That was a beautiful kick there by Sean Long. Chase was good, equal.
Now St Helens will hunt the mistake. But the mood Leeds are in, they're not making many. Peacock.
Got to be careful there. Bryn Hargreaves went in pretty late. Could have been done for a flop.
Burrow.
They'll grind it out. They're actually doing a St Helens on St Helens.
What a grand final Lee Smith is having.
Unbelievable.
Last tackle though here for Leeds. Sinfield. Another great kick. Wellens had to turn and pick it up. Burrow and Ellis. Well, Rob Burrow, he might be featherweight, but boy, He is a heavyweight out there tonight.
You know, years ago, people were saying he can't defend, he can't tackle. He's been like the Rock of Gibraltar tonight.
Yes, he has. Roby, Graham, Long, Price, Gidley. This time Burrow misses him, but the reinforcements are there. Maguire and Senior. 11 to go, 8 points the difference.
Who was wrong with that? Was he taken out? Yes.
Oh, that's a big call. That is a big call from Ashley Klein. Roby's chipped through and he says he was sandwiched.
Was this a knock-on? Came off the boot. He certainly was. Little doubt in my mind. They sandwiched him, pulled across, but they've got to get on with it. They're going to take the kick to the corner.
Watch for when St Helens get a quick play the ball at it. That's the tackle that will be at the most dangerous.
Graham. They can't get up though and make the quick play the ball. Leeds are seen to that so far. Flannery, great hit by Ellis.
Well, this is the time that Leon Price has to stand up. He's got to come up with something.
Here's Long. Here's Gilmore. He's lost it. Oh, offside. Offside against Leeds on their own line.
That is one big call by Ashley Klein. I've seen them ignored, and I've seen them given.
So here come St Helens. The pass from Graham was not man of steel. I think he knows this is not going to be the glorious farewell.
You talk about man of steel, this was very rusty, wasn't it? And not the best attempt there by Chris Flannery. Flannery should have gone, put his body on the line and gone for the football. The one thing they need is possession. Another great kick. The chase is on. Wellens is piling back.
Look at the chase from Leeds again.
Eddie, that tells you now, this is all a territorial battle. It doesn't matter who's got the ball. Leeds are prepared to give it away as long as they're as far as possible from their own try line.
And St Helens have got to try something special to break them down.
And that's why you've got to keep saying, when is Leon Price going to inject himself? He's been completely off form. Been non-existent out there.
Well, he's the sort of player who can turn it on at the blink of an eye. And here is Long, but they're not letting the ball get to the St Helens danger men. Cunningham returns.
This is the last throw of the
Wilkin under pressure from Lauatiti. And he puts the ball over the line on the full. And look what that means to the Leeds Rhinos.
And every second is counting. It was only a little push, but it was sufficient. And you just get the sense in the crowd. They know that that beautiful trophy will be retained. Will it? Still time to go. But at 24-16, you're bossing the game.
Here's Lauatiti. He celebrated that push on Wilkin like he'd just gone over for the match-winning try. Roby, Maguire, full of it. Jamie Jones, Buchanan, Lee Smith. Lee Smith still. He was just toying with the St Helens defence then. Burrow. Oh, that was forward.
Well, he won't get many pats on the back from his coach, Brian McLennan. And he knows it. Holds a hand up, says, sorry, guys.
I think, Eddie, that's because they're putting so much emphasis on defence. Here's look at the territorial gains they've made. They've kicked early, they've kicked long, and in fact, the fact that it's sitting up in that in-goal area is a perfect result for them. Here's the next example here now. St Helens tackled there, held inside their own 20, and it's all about containing Saints within their own half.
Most of this grand final has been played in St Helens' half of the field, hasn't it?
That's the quality of the kicking game.
Yeah, there's been a few, obviously a few, because they've scored the tries, have have the Saints, but there have been very few opportunities for them.
We said before the game, didn't we, Eddie, that if it was raining, it would be a great advantage to the Leeds outfit. Remember, when they won the World Club Championship earlier this season, it was the same conditions. They handled it well then, and boy, they've done even better tonight.
It was thermal underwear at Elland Road last February. It's not quite that cold here tonight. That ball pops out the back, but these are Leeds conditions, there's no doubt about that. And they are reveling in it. And they are just 6.5 minutes away from reclaiming their crown. And Long with the high kick. He's safe underneath it, Lee Smith. And he begins the counter-attack. He got as far as Graham.
Well, surely, Eddie, we've got nothing to do with the selection. But the Sunderland trophy surely is going to go to the full-back Lee Smith. He has been outstanding.
Ablett stepping out of the challenges. Carl Ablett for Leeds, cut down by Wellens.
He's lost it.
Lost the ball.
He did all the good things and then just undone it with a bit of a brainwave here. I want to get on with it quickly, and lost it.
Keep working, guys.
Well, what a break. What a great break from him.
Tired in defence, Eddie, because that's all they've had to do over the last 20 minutes. Is just defend. Not much gas left in the tank.
Little more than 5 minutes remaining. Saints need to score twice. Leeds need just to score again, and you think it'll be game over. This is Talau. His last match for St Helens.
And because Leeds' defence is so strong, I think they're going to be left with only one option, and that's utilise the kick. Look at that. They are working for each other. That could be a penalty. No.
Yes, it could have been easily, but... it's the knock-on. A knock-on by Lauatiti, I think he's ruled here.
Well, it's amazing. St Helens, they haven't even thought about securing the pack. Oh, that should have been a penalty.
It should.
Sinfield was hanging in. 2-on-1, should have been a penalty. They should have been down the field of play. Well, this has got to be a kick over the top, Eddie. They've got to try something.
5 to go. 8 points the difference. Gidley for St Helens. Leeds looking in the mood, though, here, not to let this grand final slip from their grasp. Long. Good play. Lauatiti again, and Ian Kirk. Cunningham. Graham. Fasavalou. Great defence, as it has been from whistle one from the Leeds Rhinos. Cunningham comes the short side. Price. Talau had to go down. He knew where Leeds were going to put him then, over the sideline. Price. Cunningham. Long. Long with a kick wide to nobody.
And I think that'll just about do it.
Fozzard will leave St Helens in a losing grand final for the second year in a row.
Eddie, I don't think I've ever seen a game where Sean Long has been tackled more with the ball than here tonight. On numerous occasions, OK, he's running and taken on the line, but Leeds have worked so quickly to close him down, and that's another example of pressure when it came to the kick.
Just a brief respite for the players. The referee has called time off because there are certain Leeds players who are struggling with cramp, and there are certain St Helens players struggling with fatigue. The Leeds Rhinos supporters are celebrating. They are on their way to history. No team in the history of the Leeds Rhinos has ever retained the title. This mob are on the verge of it now. Do St Helens have the joker in the pack?
I don't think so, Eddie, because I think Leeds will just let that clock tick down. Be no fuss, nothing fancy.
Here's Peacock.
It's all they have to do. They know they can get to the last. They know they've got the confident kicker.
Great ball, Sinfield to Senior. Senior through Long. Quick play, the balls are coming from the Leeds Rhinos. Here's Burrow. Last tackle here for Leeds. It's with Sinfield. He hoists another. telling bomb in the direction of Francis Melli. And Helens diffuses the bomb but slides over the dead ball line. It's a goal line dropout.
Well, it said that it comes from the field of play. Helens disputes it.
He did. His foot was in the air over the line when he diffused that.
Oh, it's hard to call that one. No wonder he's a little bit upset about it. And I think they realise now, Eddie, that it's all over. Paul Helens did try. It comes from the field of play, but when he gets the contact, it's just before his foot
The right
hits
decision,
the
and that's an
goal area.
amazing decision from a referee live,
Yeah.
Eddie.
Yes. He got absolutely... Oh, Long has gone for a short kick-off. It might have come up for them. It has come up for them. And Roby is not tackled. That was the last throw of the dice.
Well, they've thrown a few so far.
2 minutes to go. You'd think only St Helens could strike back from this. Melli. Great scrambling defence from the Rhinos. Talau.
They're swarming all over him, aren't they? Look at that. Look how they're getting out of the blocks. They're loving this. He ain't. He knows.
Daniel Anderson, but on the back of a defeat. This is Cunningham. There's 90 seconds remaining. Not even St Helens get out of this one. He becomes the first New Zealander to win the grand final as a coach. It's all over now. Peacock for Leeds. They've been magnificent. How good's that? How good is that? Daniel Anderson concedes defeat to Brian McLennan, two former New Zealand international coaches, of course. One followed the other into the job, and Brian McLennan, it's his night. It's the Rhinos who are the Super League champions again.
And you've got to admire the tactics from Brian McLennan. Same challenge in the opening 20 minutes. It looked as though they were going to just take control. Leeds, slowly but surely, came back into the game, and that'll do it.
30 seconds remaining.
They won't be rushing to form this scrum, Saints. They know the trophy is gone. They know that Leeds will be taking it back over the Pennines, and what a beautiful, beautiful shot that is.
And they will say, the Leeds fans, that's a beautiful shot as well. They're celebrating. There's a knock on. The match is all over. Look at Gareth Ellis. Look what it means to the Leeds Rhinos. They have won. They came into this cauldron of Old Trafford as complete underdogs. But Brian McLennan has won the grand final in his first season as the Leeds Rhinos coach. Sinfield, magnificent. Burrow, magnificent. Maguire, magnificent. Leeds Rhinos have played St Helens off the park.
Wonderful team effort, Eddie. Fully deserved. And this is a moment that the New Zealander Brian McLennan was dreaming of. He was so disappointed a fortnight ago. The big question was, could he get them back up for the big game? They did it against Wigan, and they've done it even better tonight.
They trod the same path that they did 12 months ago. They lost at St Helens in the qualifier. They then beat Wigan last weekend in the last chance saloon. And today they have come here and have sent Daniel Anderson home defeated.
Well, it always feels better, Eddie, when you win after most people have written you off, and I think that is the case. Nobody really expected Leeds to be so convincing in their performance and dominant, particularly in the middle of the field. They look stronger, they look more controlled than St Helens today, and there were elements of panic amongst the Saints, which we so rarely see.
Well, Bryn Hargreaves is absolutely heartbroken, but here's a young man who should be absolutely delighted. Lee Smith, he's had the game of his life. He's with Bill.
Lee, it's the stuff that's written in comic books, isn't it? You come in and Brent Webb gets injured, he gets picked the fullback, everybody thinks he's going to have a tough night, and you come out of it like that.
Yeah, it's brilliant, to be honest. I'm lost for words. It's I don't know. I don't know what to say. I can't explain it. Boys were brilliant tonight. Were outstanding. I don't right know.
You were underdogs. That must have been the motivation, and what they did to you a few weeks ago.
Yeah, we were underdogs, but in these big games, it's just about how you turn up, really. And we turned up on day, and I don't know. I don't know what to say.
And people are saying you've played yourself into the England squad.
Oh, I don't know. We'll see what happens. See what Tony says there.
Well done tonight, Lee.
Thank you.
And 2 tries for Danny Maguire, and that was copybook stuff, wasn't it? If that was the game plan, the kick early, turn him around, pin him down, it worked a treat, didn't it?
Yeah, the conditions meant that was the type of game that we had to play tonight. The boys did it unbelievably well. We had to graft hard. That was one of the toughest games I've ever played in. All credit to our boys, dug really deep, and just character that we showed tonight is unreal. Been questioned a few times this year, but when you put in performances like that, nobody can question you. 1 to 17, 1 to 25, who've helped us out throughout the year, deserve the credit.
Was that the motivation that people were questioning whether Leeds have got it this season? Given the way you dominated things early on, you run out of steam, maybe there were a few chinks in the armour?
A little bit. I mean, you do hear things going on in the press, and sometimes your own fans, but the fans are here today supporting us, and us as lads believe we could do it, and we've done it today. I'm really proud of ourselves.
Did you believe you could do it when Saints got off to their customary early start?
Yeah, there were times where we're struggling, but again, it just shows how much character we've got, and we fully deserve the win tonight.
Sweeter than last year?
Just gets better every year. I'm lucky that I'm playing in a great team, and I've been able to play in 4 of these now, and gets better every year.
Danny, thank you very much indeed. Well done tonight.
Yes, a magnificent performance from Danny Maguire and the entire Leeds Rhinos team, who have collected this evening their 3rd title now in 5 years. When you consider it was so long since they came and won a title in the modern era, they've now won 3 out of 5. Saints, just 1 title in 4 table-topping seasons. Look at the face on this fella, Brian McLennan. He deserves every moment of this. Phil.
You're savouring the moment, aren't you? This must be what coach, never mind what players dream of, what coaches dream of.
Oh, it's about us. We knew we were playing against a very classy side in St Helens, and it's why we're so overjoyed. They're a great side, and for us to come here tonight and win, it's a huge effort.
Especially when people were doubting you.
Oh, yeah, well, you don't worry about that, do you? So, we had belief in ourselves, and like I say, we're very, very happy. Just want to say hello out to the boys that couldn't make it, that were with us today, but Webby at home. Here we go, brother. And to Clinton Torpy in New Zealand, this is for you guys. And, we're really, this is the result of the whole year, not just one game.
Lee Smith did you proud, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. And we had a lot of confidence in Lee, and as in all the players. And, yeah, he was very, very solid back there tonight. In these conditions, it's tough playing in the back 3. So, all our boys did good. Ryan Hall picked up a try with a little grubber kick. I've never seen him kick a ball at all, even at training. So that was a surprise.
Did the game plan work to perfection, irrespective of the weather conditions?
Oh, yeah, a little bit. But I think in games like this, it just gets down to a war of attrition. And we probably didn't get to do as much as what we wanted to do, just like St Helens. And that's what, the conditions do.
Brian, thanks very much indeed. Well done.
Hey, just want to say thank you to all the Leeds Rhino supporters and help getting us through. There they are there. Outstanding. Outstanding.
I think he's going to be a hero if he isn't already, Brian McLennan. Leeds Rhinos have denied St Helens the double for a 2nd year in a row. And look at the disappointment on the faces. That's the man of steel. He was jubilant on Tuesday. And boy, it is a bitter pill for them to swallow. But we have got worthy champions. At the end of the day, here is the Harry Sunderland Award winner as man of the match. And we tipped it, didn't we? And it's Lee Smith. What a fairy tale. What a fairy tale for Lee Smith. Would have played probably anyway on the wing, but he has played at full-back in place of Brent Webb, and he walks away as man of the match, and rightly so, despite Danny Maguire's 2 magnificent tries. Kevin Kevin Sinfield, by the way, will equal St Helens skipper Chris Joynt in captaining 3 winning grand finals, as Ashley Klein leads his men up to the podium to receive their mementos of this big night. And it's also worth mentioning the fact that Jamie Peacock is the first man to win 5 grand finals here at Old Trafford. What a magnificent record he has got. Jamie Peacock picked as Man of Steel on Tuesday night. Let's hope that he is lifting the World Cup in Australia come the back end of November, as well as this Super League title. Up come St Helens for their commemorative runners-up medals. Bitter, bitter pills to swallow.
Just shows you in any sport, but especially in rugby league, that even if you go into the match as red-hot favourites, how things can turn around. A fortnight ago, everyone in rugby league was saying, can Brian McLennan, can he turn it around? Yes, he can. And we will be left wondering now, and maybe the St Helens fans and the players, was that furious attack from their coach at half-time. There he is, Daniel Anderson. I've never, ever seen him be as mad and as cross. Did it affect them? It's hard to say. Remember, Gidley scored soon after the restart to tie it all up at 12-12. But this mob, the Rhinos, they have been magnificent.
They have tonight. We've had the 2 best teams in the competition all year, and Leeds go up the steps now to receive their winners' rings, and the trophy at the end of all this will be presented to Kevin Sinfield, who then will have to find a little bit of breath to address this crowd of nudging 70,000 in Old Trafford tonight. That's what all the fuss has been about for the past 8 months. The Engage Super League trophy. Brian McLennan will get his winner's ring first because the coach gets one, and boy, with his tactics tonight, doesn't he deserve it. And then the captain will first of all make a speech, and then will receive the trophy. Let's hear from Kevin Sinfield.
Can I just thank, first of all, St Helens. You're a champion side. You played your part in a great final. So to a great team, thank you.
St Helens didn't hear that, they've left the arena.
To all the sponsors involved tonight, Engage, Leeds Building Society from Leeds Rhinos and Leeds Met Carnegie, thank you for your support. To the squad members who didn't play tonight, Brent Webb, Clinton Tupi, and a number of young blokes who have been outstanding all year. You played a massive part in this. Thank you. To our coaching team, Bluey, you've come in and done a great job. Fantastic. The desire and commitment of the boys, something really special. Lastly, just to our fans, we could hear you singing all night. You're the best.
Well, I wonder if he prepared that speech earlier.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2008 Engage
Here he goes, the 2008
Give them a
Engage
round of
Super
applause.
League
It's
champions.
Leeds Rhinos.
Leeds Rhinos, 2 in a row.